The video tonight was supposed to be about the Steeda clutch spring install for a Focus RS, and really it'd be relevant for a Focus ST too, because the install is about the same, but we ran into some issues, and that's going to be coming next Tuesday. But in the meantime, I got some merch drop. Some prototype shirts. These are garbage. But I'm going to keep working on getting some shirts made. Since that's what we got so far. Throw that on. But I wanted to talk about, as a backup plan, one of the other videos on my list was the Ford Edge ST. The Ford Edge ST. It's such a joke of a car, it really is. Now, if it just said the Edge Sport, like tuned by Ford Performance or something like that, I'd be totally okay with it. Or if you had like the Ford Edge and then it had like Ford Performance badge on it, saying like, we gave this to Ford Performance, they did some things, it's cool. But no, they make it an ST because the ST has a strong brand name in performance. If you own a Ford, you probably are aware of the ST brand, and if you can't have a RS or a Focus or Fiesta, then you'd have to go with an SUV that maybe your wife would let you get. I find it really sad that that's what Ford went to, because I saw one the other day. So take a look at this picture here. This is the one that I saw at the Phoenix Open. That Ford's always a big sponsor of the Phoenix Open. So let's just start. Look at the wheels on this thing. Does that scream ST to you? No. You actually have that black front splitter. Reminds you of kind of what the ST looked like, the Focus ST. But other than that, I mean, it's just an Edge with it's an Edge Sport. That's it. Yeah, there's some cool things on the interior, but the exterior, I mean, it's so bad. And I just find it really frustrating that they go ahead and they take the Fiesta, excellent car, Focus, excellent car, then the Focus RS, even better, and are going to continue to make those overseas. There's no word on the new RS, but the Fiesta and the Focus, the technology in them is amazing. They just had a piece, if you guys watch the Grand Tour on Amazon Prime, with some hot hatches in the Fiesta. I mean, the technology in that thing is amazing, as I'm sure a lot of you know. You've probably watched the videos that Ford Performance has released. Speaking of the videos they've released, how about the one where they show the Edge ST, like, beating the Focus ST, the Fiesta ST, all that stuff, like in a drag race? It just, like, smokes them. And here's my problem with that, is they made it a commercial where you don't know what's true and what's not. If the Edge ST is faster than a Focus ST in a straight line, fine. I have no problem with that. My problem is it's so edited, it makes it, you wonder, like, okay, is it faster? They're like neck and neck, and then it pulls ahead. I don't know that it's that much faster because there's so much weight there, and I don't think the power to weight ratio would be much quicker than 6 seconds, maybe 5.5. For it to be 5.5 seconds, that would amaze me. So I don't think the acceleration in them varies that much, but Ford likes to say, so like, what is Ford trying to say? Like, oh, our flagship hot hatches, oh, they're an Edge is faster than them. They're like going against, you know, all that hard work they made to make those cars great by this garbage SUV that they've released. I don't think the Edge is garbage. I think it's garbage that they made an ST out of it, but they really didn't. They didn't go the extra mile to make it stand out and be an ST. It's just SUVs are hot right now. They eliminated the ST brand in the United States, and that was the only way to keep it going. And then they're coming out with the Explorer ST. I just think it's really bad on Ford Performance's part, and it's a shame because they're doing great things with the Mustang. I think, what is the GT500 or the Shelby GT500 that's coming out in that new green color? Looks incredible. Plus all the aftermarket that Ford offers themselves, and then the aftermarket community for the Mustang in general. It's awesome. So, you know, they're doing good there, but the hot hatch to just to ditch it like that and then bring back the Edge ST. And here's another one that I saw, and this one I saw just out in the wild. This is like the spec, I guess, looks the best. The blue looks good. These are the upgraded wheels and brakes and all that stuff. So it looks decent, but it's not an ST. And for Ford to advertise it like, oh, if you've seen the Ford advertisement where it's like, oh, your exotic car isn't doing it for you, here's one you can live with every day. And they show like a Ferrari 458 or 488, one of the two, driving with a massive teddy bear on the back. If you have a Ferrari 458, you could probably have 6 or 7 other cars. You don't need to buy an Edge ST for your one car that kind of does performance but is also an SUV. It's just bad. And there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it. We can just buy the Velociter N with the performance pack and stick it to Ford. That's about it. My focus right now, it's kind of in maintenance mode. I have a lot of things I need to do to it. I'm even thinking of taking it into a body shop, having them sand down and respray the front bumper, and then maybe get it clear broad. I ordered a new headlight, a new fog light, so I'm going to get the fog light replaced on the front right of the car. That shattered. That was a while ago. I finally ordered that. And before I get it installed, I'm actually going to get it clear broad as well. That way it's just a little less fragile. So I'm going to try to get that wrapped, maybe the other one, but I'll keep you all posted on that. But yeah, that's just the main thing. I might have to replace my windshield again. Got a crack in that. That's like the 5th windshield I've replaced. There's just a lot of debris on the roads out here. Yeah, also appreciate all your input on Supra versus M2. I haven't counted it up. I think most of you have said M2. Some of the argument is why pay $50,000 for a Supra when it's half of a Toyota. You can just get an M2 and get the full BMW experience. I'm not necessarily worried about the full BMW experience. It's more that the Supra name and it coming back and being able to own a new Mark V Supra would be sick. I think it would be great for the content on here, but surprisingly a lot of you want the M2. And I think there's just a general animosity out there against the Supra because it doesn't have a 2JZ engine, which I get it. I'm not a Supra fanatic, so I don't really care. I'm just happy that the Supra is back, and I think they did a really nice job with it. I think the power is a little weak. One of the other things is, you know, if I get an M2, and I want to get a 2018 M2, so not the competition. I like the engine and sound better in the 2018 16 to 18s. The other thing is the M2 has 365 horsepower, 365 foot-pounds of torque, or that's on overboost. The torque without overboost is like 345. You get more power, and I'd be able to get it used, so already some of the depreciation has hit. I think it sounds better. The technology is just a little bit better in the Supra. So the other thing is the M2 is a manual transmission. You can't get the Supra in a manual, and having a secondary car that is a special car and not be a manual, really my daily should be an automatic and my secondary car should be a manual. Unfortunately, I'm not giving up my Focus, well, not unfortunately, I'm just not giving up my Focus ST for 2 reasons. One, it's really not worth much. For me to, you know, out the door I paid around $30,000 for it. And also, when I say that, a lot of you are like, oh, did you even negotiate? Yes, I did, but I bought it in 2015 when the refresh was still very, very new, and it was a 16 model. So there was not much room to negotiate, and taxes is 8.3% out here. So taxes brings you up whatever. I got it for like $29,000, but taxes were like $2,000. So it brings you right up to MSRP again. So there's not much I could do there. There weren't incentives like there are now if there's any left on the lots. It's not worth much, and it's beat up. I use it as a daily driver for work, so it's nice to just not worry. There's rock chips all over the front of it, the front bumper's totaled, the fog lights smashed out. I'm going to replace that. So I'm going to fix it up and do what I can to keep it nice. I hand wash it. The paint on the other parts of the car is fine, and the interior is perfect. Like, I always keep it clean. The steering wheel, I'm cautious of how I hold it and different things, because if you, just under the perforated leather on the steering wheel of the ST, there's, on like the left side, there's like a little bit of wear right where it changes from perforated leather to just the soft leather. You have to watch. I notice a lot of people, theirs just wears and peels off, so I'm very cautious that I don't do that. So I'll kind of hold it below on longer trips, or just try to keep it at 9 and 3. The interior is perfect, just the exterior needs, it's a little beat up. And it's nice that I don't have to worry about that. There's some door dings. That'd be about $300 to get all those repaired. I also need to get a new wheel. If you guys know, you're looking to get, I need one wheel. Rado Gray needs to be in almost perfect shape. One of mine is corroded, and Ford would not replace it, even though the dealer screwed it up. The dealer just, they wouldn't take blame for it. They're like, oh, we don't fix wheels here. But when I took delivery of the car, they fixed the wheel. They brought someone in. He did a cheap job. I then had it repainted by a guy in Phoenix. His job failed as well. The paint off that he put on the wheel, it's just all corroded, just like the first guy. So I've just come to the conclusion that I need a new wheel. I'm not going to get a new wheel from Ford because it'll cost me about $700 for that. OEM wheels are very expensive, and they go for cheap online, but the problem is everyone is selling 4 wheels. I just need one. So if for some reason you guys are selling one wheel, I'd be willing to buy from you. I think I offered a guy $75 recently, but he wanted to sell all 4. So I understand that. But those are kind of the things I'm working on with the ST. And I do have some upgrades to do and finish. I just need to find the time to sync up with people and get garage space and get those done. So don't worry about the ST going away. It's not going anywhere. I'm just making a decision on buying a secondary car. The other thought I had was get like an Evo or something like that and build it up. The problem is I have a garage, but I don't have like my own private garage where I can, if it's not running, I can just leave it there, store it, rip it apart, leave tires laying around, things like that. So, and I've also been kind of itching for a luxury car. So getting an M2 or a Supra, they're both, I would consider, luxury performance cars. That's kind of what I want. I don't know. It's just, it feels good to drive around in something like that. You work hard and you reward yourself. So that's kind of what I'm looking for, and I think maybe a project car will come after that when I have a house and just more time to dedicate to strictly making videos and doing all that stuff. So I appreciate your guys' patience with me, and thank you for all the support. We're closing in on 13,000 subscribers now. Again, I'm going to post videos every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm going to continue that pattern, and we're just going to keep on going. But yeah, I'm also going to continue to work on these shirts because these ones were pretty weak. The quality is good. The material's good. Like I'd be comfortable selling a shirt like this to all of you guys because I wanted to make sure that they were soft and comfortable. But I need to work on the actual design because this is just terrible, and it's not even actually what I ordered. So yeah. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.